Well, hello. What I want to start with, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a new deck out. It's called Murder the Crows Tarot. And it's actually, personally, I would say this is more of a deck for an intermediate to what we would call a professional reader. It's not really made for someone that's beginning or just starting out. It does follow Rider-Waite. It follows down that same path. If you know what the cards are, you know how to read them. But the biggest part about reading cards and the biggest part about all these decks is what you actually get from the querent that you're dealing with. And what I like about these cards is the design on how they were made. I says, technically, this does not have a lot of color. It's more or less like a black and white deck. There's crow on every card, but the way that they're faced in on all the cards gives you a lot of symbolism if you look for it. And those that are reading work a lot off the symbolism. I like the deck because of that. I like the black and white. This deck, I guess if you would call it, kind of leans towards what we would call the goth or the dark side. And, well, I collect them and I enjoy them. I enjoy the artwork on this one especially. I like the way it's set up, the way it follows the path, and I like what it does. I study all my cards, so I would assume that whoever's reading would take a good look at their cards and see what's in it, because what you see in the deck itself will take you to what you see within the querent and what you give to them. As an example, I like the strength card. But if you look, it's kind of like Rider-Waite, Lady and the Lion, but look closer. The lady has the face of the crow. She also has the infinity sign over her head. The whole deck is set that way. It's set in black and white. It's, well, to the goth side, but I thoroughly enjoy the deck for that reason itself. It's not a deck you're going to start with. You're not going to start reading off a deck like this, especially since I tell all my students that you should journal and study your cards first before you even read a little book to see what the actual person that wrote about it and created the deck and what his opinion is on it. You should form your own opinions and see how it reads for you. One of my favorites, and this one is the High Priestess. And you can see how they built the columns in with the crows in the background, the moon, the cross. The symbolism is there. You just have to look for it. And a lot of times when you're reading, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for those symbols to take you along, to move you forward. It's a very good deck, not something you'd read with if you were not just a beginner. Now, if you're a collector, it would make a very good part of your collection because that's what it does for me. I collect many decks, have many decks, and this fits right into one of the patterns. Works the same way with your pip cards. Two of cups. Still shows you the people, still shows you the cups, gives you a couple crows, you got the background. But like I said, everything's in black and white. I like the artists that put the back together. And when you're choosing a deck, you're going to choose by what you like, whether you like an artist or whether you like anything like a particular writer or an artist, whoever you like. Or, like I say, the deck that talks to you, the deck that you feel something for, those are the decks that you get, and those are the decks that you read. Our aces, our Ace of Pentacles. They all work the same way. This deck to any collector would be a very interesting deck. It's a nice one to have on your shelf. It's not a deck I would say that you would read for anybody walking up to your table, but it would be a deck that I would have on my table. And if it drew the attention of somebody walking up, more than happy to read with it. I like the idea it's in black and white, and they did the artistry in such a fashion. Being black and white, it kind of gives you a little bit of the old times and makes the deck kind of look gothic or dark, however you want to call it. But very good deck. And I would recommend it to anybody to buy as part of their collection. And those that are more so on the intermediate to professional scale, I would recommend that deck, and you would have no problem reading with it. But it's different. Follows Rider-Waite all the way around, but slightly different. Very good deck to have. And I enjoy it very much. I think those that like the artwork follow a little bit towards that path. You'll enjoy it yourselves. So I like it. I recommend it. I like the way they set the back up. I like what they did with it. Something that would make a good next to the bed on the shelf. And a nice deck to carry around with you when you want to use it.